Hi, I'm Mike Cherniffsky, and you're listening to This Podcast is Uncalled For. Welcome to the first official recording for Season 8 of the podcast. This will, of course, be airing after our Fringe program. And I'm really excited about that, of course, and you will all have heard it by the time you're listening to this. But I thought I'd get this season, this production of it, started on a bit of a interesting note. I'm recording this just a couple days after the monthly ex-Mormon coffees that I've been going to. And one subject came up that I think would be good to explore and all that. And it's about the Word of Wisdom. The Word of Wisdom, I'm actually going to take today to read section 89 of the Doctrine and Covenants, where the Word of Wisdom is comes from. But first I want to address something I heard from the coffee, that there's a gentleman by the name of Tim Ballard, no relation to M. Russell Ballard, who is a Mormon apostle. Apparently this guy, Tim Ballard, was commissioned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to do some research to the Word of Wisdom. For those who are not Mormon, the Word of Wisdom is basically a health code. It's as interpreted by the church today: no alcohol, no tobacco, no tea, no coffee. Some Mormons will take that to mean no caffeine, period. But it is worthy of examination. So before we actually get into reading the Word of Wisdom, I'm going to read from abc4.com. This is the ABC affiliate in Salt Lake City, I believe. Congratulations again, your new hockey team, by the way. So, the Word of Wisdom. The article's Tim Ballard's victims claim connection between him and late LDS apostle. A lawsuit represents only one side of a story. Okay, so new claims about deceased church leader, the late President M. Russell Ballard. Probably did occur to me that he had passed, but whatever. Of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had been released in an amendment to a lawsuit against former Operation Underground Railroad CEO Tim Ballard. The amendment was filed April 6, 2024 in relation to a lawsuit filed by 5 women against Tim Ballard, his wife, and other associated companies and members of the OUR board. Let's skip to where it says Word of Wisdom. Quote, under information and belief, President Ballard and other members of the Mormon Church asked Tim Ballard to write a book declaring that the word of wisdom is not true. According to church beliefs, the founder of the Latter-day Saint faith received direction from God on what members of the church should and should not consume for their physical and spiritual benefit. Members of the faith are urged not to drink alcohol, tea, or coffee and tea. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. In addition to avoiding tobacco. The lawsuit claims Tim Ballard was addicted to drugs, alcohol, and sex. Quotes, Ballard was fortuitously given his command to write a book for the Mormon Church declaring that the word of wisdom was not true doctrine, thus allowing him to consume excessive amounts of alcohol in the form of tequila of his own volition. Okay, so a little history about the word of wisdom, at least my understanding of the history, is that it came about in the early days of the LDS Church, because Emma Smith got sick of cleaning up the spits from tobacco at the time, because a lot of the early Mormons were heavy drinkers and chewed tobacco. Yeah. This is dated February 27, 1833, out of Kirtland, Ohio, which, by the way, the Kirtland Temple, the first ever temple of the LDS faith, still stands. It recently changed hands, and when it was purchased by the LDS Church from the Community of Christ, the former RLDS, and they won't be doing their rituals in that temple, but will keep it as a historic site, and that's cool because that temple was built for purposes other than the current LDS temple rituals. So here we go, section 89 of the Doctrine and Covenants. Verse 1. A word of wisdom for the benefit of the Council of High Priests assembled in Kirtland and the church and also the saints in Zion. To be sent greeting, not by commandment or constraint, but by revelation and the word of wisdom, showing forth the order and will of God in the temporal salvation of all saints in the last days. So, there are first two. It says it's not a commandment, but rather just revelation. The LDS Church believes in modern day revelation and continuing revelation through its president, who they view as a prophet, seer, and revelator of God. So here we are, verse 2. This isn't even a commandment. This is just a suggestion. Right? Moving on. Given for a principal promise adapted to the capacity of the weak and the weakest of all saints, who are and can be called saints. Behold, verily, thus saith the Lord unto you, in consequence of evils and designs which do and will exist in the hearts of conspiring men in the last days, I have warned you and forewarn you by giving unto you this word of wisdom by revelation. Once again, just a suggestion. I'm just telling you what you should do. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying here, but just you should do this. Continue with verse 5. That inasmuch as any man drinketh wine or strong drink among you, behold, it is not good, neither meat in the sight of your Father, only in assembling yourselves together to offer up your sacraments before him. And behold, this should be wine, yea, pure wine of the grape. of the vine of your own make. So, pause. LDS sacrament meetings, as they call communion, instead of wine, they now use tap water. They've been using tap water this whole time, and I remember during my time in the church, that's one of the first things we do. We go prepare the sacraments, as they said, and involved loaves of white bread, which you could buy at any grocery store, that we would break up with our hands and have to say a prayer over that. But before even that, we would take these trays with a little paper or plastic cups, depending on which wards were. I think my ward used paper, and fill them with tap water. And before each was given out, we would have to say a prayer in front of everyone, a prayer that you can find in the Book of Mormon, as well as the Doctrine and Covenants, and was printed and placed on the altar area. We had to read word for word. You screw it up once, you look up at the bishop. He'll either give you a nod or no. If it gives you the no, you gotta do it all over again. Just that part of the prayers. I'm not going to waste everyone's time trying to read that prayer right now. So we continue. And again, strong drinks are not for the belly, but for the washing of your bodies. They're talking specifically about strong drinks. That's spirits. Yeah, that's your whiskeys, your tequila, your vodkas, your gins, that sort of thing. Again, tobacco is not for the body, neither for the belly, and is not good for man, but is an herb for bruises and all sick cattle, to be used with judgment and skill. And I read that, immediately think of Eddie Izzard, talking about the difference between British English and American English. And one of the examples he gave was the word herb. Yeah, we say herb in America, and the British, they say herbs, because there's a fucking H in it. Again, hot drinks are not for the body or belly. Well, what drinks are traditionally served hot? Tea and coffee. I don't see anything in there about Coca-Cola or Diet Coke or other caffeinated beverages. And where's the prohibition? According to this, hot chocolates is a no-no, because it's served, well, hot. So, does this mean soups are a no-no? Because soup is traditionally served hot. So, stuff to think about. Okay. Continue. We're on verse 10 now. And again, verily I say unto you, all wholesome herbs God hath ordained for the constitution, nature, and use of man. Every herb in the season thereof, and every fruit in the season thereof, all these to be used with prudence and thanksgiving. Yea, flesh also of beasts and of the fowls of the land, I, the Lord, have ordained for the use of man with thanksgiving. Nonetheless, they're to be used sparingly. Sounding like my doctors saying, yeah, you got to cut down on the triglycerides. Well, triglycerides come mostly from meat, and I am very much a carnivore. But they're saying eat more fruits and vegetables. So, all right, we can do that. All right. And it is pleasing unto me that they should not be used only in times of winter or of cold or famine. So during the summer months, we just be vegans. Is that what this is saying? All grain is ordained for the use of man and of beasts to be the staff of life, not only for man, but for the beasts of the field, the fowl of heavens, and all wild animals that run or creep on the earth. Okay, so another thing I've noticed, no mention of seafood. So, fish, are we supposed to stop eating fish? Or shellfish, for that matter? Because they mention beasts of the land, so that's pork and beef. They mention fowls, so that's chicken or other poultry, but nothing about seafood. I digress. We're on verse 15 now. So, and these hath God made for the use of man only in times of famine and excess of hunger. All grain is good for the food of man, and also the fruits of the vine, that which yieldeth fruits, whether in the ground or above the ground. So potatoes are out. Verse 17. Nevertheless, wheat for man, and corn for the ox, and oats for the horse, and rye for the fowls, and for swine, and for all beasts of the field, and barley for all useful animals, and for mild drinks, as also other grain. Barley for mild drinks. What drink that is still around today is made primarily with barley? Oh yeah, beer. So according to the word of wisdom, alcohol is a bad thing, but you can drink beer. All right. So can't do a Giant Walker, but yeah, you can do Budweiser and you'll be fine with it. Yeah. So according to the word of wisdom, beer's fine. Yeah. We continue. And all saints who remember to keep and do these sayings, walking in obedience to the commandments, didn't they just say this isn't a commandment? Shall have health in the navel and marrow in their marrow to their bones. Ooh boy. Oh boy. So if you once again, I'm going to recommend New Name Noah, Mike Norton, and his Secrets LDS Temple videos. But that phrase, health in the navel, marrow in the bones, is very much part of the endowment ceremony. And I will refer you to his work for that. So, continue. There are only 3 more verses. So, and shall find wisdom and great treasures of knowledge, even hidden treasures, and shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint. And I, the Lord, give unto them a promise, that the destroying angels shall pass by them as the children of Israel, and not slay them. Amen. All right, so yeah. Doesn't say anything about iced coffee or iced tea, so those should be fine. Just hot stuff, hot stuff. Avoid. Does that mean soup? Is that the question? It says nothing about fish or seafood, so shellfish is already not kosher. So does that mean we stop eating trout or tuna? Well, I'm not a fan of tuna, but do we stop eating that sort of stuff? And do we all start drinking beer? All right, it says barley can be used for mild drinks. Barley is used to make beer. So, drink all the beer you want. All right. So, there's your destruction of the word of wisdom. So, have a beer, have a nice coffee, and you'll be fine. But probably stay away from the tobacco still. And it says nothing of weed, which, by the way, still very much illegal right where I am sitting. But just go a few miles east and should be no problem, right? So anyway, that's going to do it for this edition. We're going to leave. Now, since the subject of beer came up, we're going to leave with the Sunflower Brew theme music, which I created in GarageBand back in the day. So, in conclusion, this podcast is uncalled for, is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. The opening music is Iron Bacon by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution, 4.0 license, and our outro music, once again, the Sunflower Brew theme, composed by me using GarageBand. And shout out to the Mormon Church for such interesting doctrine. And remember, it's just a suggestion, it's not a commandment. And we will talk to you next time.
If you are in the United States or Canada, you can call us at 816-832-5160. Leave your message or question for us, and if we like it, we will play it on the podcast. Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive uncalled for merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.